They're standing right here.
I was introduced to Fritz through a friend, almost 70 years old, and his girlfriend Darlene had recently passed away. Fritz was struggling with motivation. He was barely working on his house, and he'd quit making art. Some days, he could barely get out of bed, he said. Despite our age difference, I saw a lot of myself in Fritz, the little guy, up against the odds in a small room making things, which most of the world could do without. Big dreams. It's one thing I had in common with a 70-year-old painter, at least at one point in his life.
My name is Fritz. I'm an artist and a machinist. I moved to New York City in 1977 to become a professional painter. Jimmy Carter was president. The Yankees were champ. New York City was a complete dump. I struggled for 5 years to be an artist, and I felt invisible. My work was good. It was mostly painting, oil, and acrylic, good enough to make it, but it didn't. So I moved back to Rochester to become a machinist.
You like this kind of work?
Oh yeah, I like it. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. It gave me a trade, it gave me something, a work that I enjoyed. It gave me something to hang on to, and I earn a good buck. I make a living.
So what was the hardest part about leaving New York?
The hardest part was coming home and facing my family, my father and my brother. They were dead set against me going to New York to become an artist. They're very practical. They said I would never make it, that it wouldn't work. And I proved them right.
What do we do here?
Oh, we finished up the milling machine. We made the plaque. It took a lot of time, a lot of programming. This is going to go at the church where Darlene was a member, and it'll be a memorial to her. I wanted her to be remembered, and I liked her last word. She said, "This is what I want to be remembered by," and she gave some encouraging words about God being taking care of her and forgiving other people and to be happy. She lived as long as she did because she was a happy person. I think that helped her live long, and so that'll be reminded of people who loved her. So. Oh, I met Darlene, and she was the love of my life. I was working as a machinist, and I would get creative thoughts while I was working, and I would share those with Darlene. She encouraged me to get back into art. She said, "You know, you have all these ideas while you're running a machine. You should act on them. You should pick your artwork up again and start again." So she got me going again in my art.
And that was over the last, 8 to 10 years?
Yeah, I've been, since Darlene, I've been painting for about 10 years now. So it was good. When I met her, she was on oxygen because of injury. She was born with a crooked back. One arm that wasn't full size. She only had 3 fingers, no thumb. She and I both were born with spinal curvature. See, my father was a Marine. I had naval privileges with the Naval Hospital. And every 6 months, growing up, I had to go to see the naval doctors and have an x-ray. I mean, every 6 months. But when I got into junior high school, I started having shortness of breath. And they said, well, we have to do a spinal fusion on you to keep the bones from the back from going over. So they graft a bone from your leg and put it in your back, in a cast from your knees to the back of your neck. See, and it takes a year to get over it. But see, Darlene's parents' mother was very poor. They were on assistance. because her mother was in a wheelchair. Darlene said, nobody cared for a little welfare child. So her back bent over way too much before they did the surgery. But she was a brilliant woman. Every place she went, people saw her talent. Thank you all for coming. I'm not sure that I'll be able to get through this. I'm all right when I'm out doing something. I went to work and I was able to not think about Darlene for a little bit. She gave me the last years of her life, and I gave her as much love as I could. She left me a note with a will thanking me for the love I gave her. I know that she understood that I loved her a great deal because I told her many times. I pray that God will give me the strength to live with whatever happens so that I can be an inspiration to others. Thank you.